Hey guys, it is Tiffy here from Tiffy Cooks, and today we are back in my office because we're going to be talking about my social media strategy and how I manage my time as a full-time food creator. Before we go into the video, I just wanted to say a big thank you for all the love and support you guys showed me in my last video where I answered all your Q&As in regards to, my journey transitioning from a 9-to-5 to a full-time creator, how much money I make as a food creator, and how I make money. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure to go check it out. I am so grateful and happy to have a platform where I'm not able to only share recipes, but also I hope to one day help those who also want to turn their passion into their job one day. I will also be including a free social media content calendar template that you guys can go download on my blog. I'm one of those people that loves to do to-do lists. I like to stay really organized. That's honestly, I would say, the main thing when it comes to my strategy is that I'm very organized. I usually plan out my content a whole month in advance before it goes live. But if you guys want to go download it, it is free. It's on my blog. So yeah, go check it out. So let's get started. Before we go into my social media strategy, I want to talk about 5 ways of how I currently make money as a food creator. That way, when we're going into each individual platforms, I can kind of talk about that as well. So the 5 sources of income I have, the first one is the ads that you guys see on my blog. This is my most stable source of income by far. It takes around 40 to 50% of my monthly income comes from my website ads. The second one is brand deals. So brand deals is a huge chunk of my income. However, brand deals are not as stable and you do have to rely on brands and you don't really know when they come and go every single month. So I highly recommend that when you first get started to not rely on brand deals, but I do think that the larger your following and the more, exposure you get, the bigger the brand deals will be. The third one is affiliate links. Fourth one is live events. So, live cooking shows or anything like that. And the fifth one is merch and products. So these are my 5 sources of incomes, and I'll kind of talk about how each source of income kind of plays into, different social media platforms that I choose to be on. Currently, I have 6 platforms that I manage. So the first one is my blog. I highly recommend anyone who is looking to become a food creator to start a food blog ASAP. Like I said earlier, it is 40 to 50% of my monthly income and it's my most stable income by far. I do have a blog post sharing you step-by-steps on how to actually start a blog that makes money. I'll link it down below and make sure to go check it out. The second one is TikTok. Third one is Instagram. Fourth one is Pinterest. Then it is my email list. So I do have a newsletter. And last is YouTube. I've been doing this since September. However, I do not recommend doing all 6 platforms all at once when you first get started. Each platform honestly feels like a full-time job and you want to make sure that you do each platform well before you kind of take on another responsibility. So I will kind of talk about each social media platforms, their pros and their cons, my strategies behind it. And then you guys can then pick and choose, which platforms that you're interested and being on. So let's start with the first platform that I was ever on, which is the platform that I have the most followings, which is TikTok. So the number one thing that I love about TikTok is really all you require is your phone and that's it. Unlike a lot of other platforms such as Instagram and YouTube, where it's been around for a lot longer, a lot of times these platforms have a lot of professional creators on there where they have, really nice camera equipment and microphones. The thing with TikTok is honestly, all you need is your phone and that's it. So it's really easy to get started. Another thing that I like about TikTok is with their algorithm, no matter how many followers you have, every post has its own chance to go viral. So this is really good for people who are starting out because you get a chance to kind of play around with how you want your video styles to be. You have a chance of, going viral without having a fancy equipment or a huge following. It honestly gives everyone a chance. However, with that being said, it also can be a negative thing sometimes because no matter how many followers you have, it doesn't guarantee that your videos will actually be seen by your followers. So, you can have millions of followers and your video doesn't go viral. So it's not as stable versus something like Instagram and YouTube where you subscribe to someone and your content honestly does get pushed to your audience. So if you are starting out on TikTok, I recommend posting really frequently in the beginning. I used to post every single day for the first 3 months and honestly it did really help my growth. I now scale back to only 3 times a week. However, I do recommend posting really consistently. The second thing is to make sure you engage with your audience. There's a great community there, honestly, and it's a really supportive community. So engage with your audience, ask them what type of content they like, ask them, what they want to see next. You can go on live, you can do all those things to connect with your audience. Highly recommend doing that. Third thing is to participate in viral trends and viral sounds if you want. Just make sure that you give your own twist to it so people know it is you. And if you go viral, they understand what to expect from your content. The fourth one is to make sure that you don't get too upset with the views. You know, you're not shadow banned. Don't worry. I know we've all been through there. I go through that all the time, but don't be upset about the views. You know, you have to understand that's just part of their algorithm. That's the best part about algorithm. Unfortunately, it's also the worst part of their algorithm is that it's just not as stable. However, it's okay. Every day you have a new chance of going viral. In terms of posting time, so I always post at 11 to 11:30 a.m. And the reason why I do that is because I wanted to make sure that when I post, I have a whole hour dedicated to answering DMs, answering comments, and everything like that. So for me, that is the reason why I have a specific posting time. It's not because of like, you know, analytics of what time you post is better, but more so I want to make sure that when I do post a video, I have a full hour dedicated to answering comments, you know, connecting with audiences and connecting with my followers. So that's why I post at 11:30 a.m. So find a time that works for you. You don't want to just post and then go missing. You want to make sure you can at least stick around for 30 minutes to see, you know, what are the feedbacks. The best way to learn is to get feedbacks from others. If you are going to be participating in any viral trends and viral sounds or anything like that, just make sure that your page is set up so that way when your video does go viral, people know what to do next or what to expect from you. The last thing you want is for a video to go viral that has nothing to do with your page, or, you know, you don't really have a consistent posting style, because you don't want people to be like, okay, cool, this video is viral, but what does this page do? Are they just viral because they're lucky? Or are they viral because they post consistently and it can rely on this one platform to generate more content? So let's say, example, I was to participate in a trend. I want to make sure I give it a Tiffy Cooks flair. On top of that, I want to make sure that if people were to go to my page, they'll be like, okay, you know what? Tiffy's page is all about posting recipes, easing recipes, and they know what to expect next. They know how often I post, and then they will actually then follow me, or, you know, hopefully follow me on Instagram or go to my blog. Like I said earlier, my main source of income is my blog, which means that what I care about the most, end of the day, is the traffic that goes towards my blog. So I just want to highlight this because I know a lot of creators get really frustrated on TikTok because a lot of times the views are really unstable. You can have a video that goes very good, video that goes really down. There have been videos that I have millions of views, and in fact, it drove zero traffic towards my blogs. And at the same time, there has been videos that have like really bad views. However, the people who are watching the video and liking the video actually wanted to make the recipe, and they will go to my blog and check out the recipe there. So I rely on TikTok more so as a really stable source of traffic for my blog. Obviously, I also use TikTok to make money on brand deals. So I do accept brand deals on TikToks, and I also do live events on TikTok as well. However, it is really, really powerful when it comes to traffic. Like I said earlier, every video has its own chance to go viral. We can have videos that go viral like in 2 million views in less than just a day. You want to make sure that you drive this traffic towards something that can help you. I'm in Canada, so I don't make any creator funds, so I don't make any money on my views, which is why to me, it's very important that when a video goes viral, the people understand that the recipe is on my blog, and that is honestly the best way to support me, which is just supporting my blog. When I first started, the first month and a half, I didn't have my blog set up just yet. And then that was when my strategy was to push everyone to my Instagram account. So the thing with TikTok is that it doesn't have story functions. Therefore, it doesn't, in my opinion, have as good of a chance to build engagement and build a relationship with the audience, which is why I'm going to go into my second platform that I manage and I spend a lot of time on, which is Instagram. Instagram is the perfect platform to build engagement and to build a relationship with your audience. It has so many functions within one app. You have DMs, you have IG stories, you have posts, you have reels, you have IGTV. There's just so many different functions within Instagram that you honestly have every single way to connect with your audience and to use all their features to build out your business. I use Instagram honestly mostly to engage with my audience and to get a good idea of what people want to see next. So I always utilize, you know, the voting features, the poll features. I answer 90% of my DMs because it's honestly like my favorite part of Instagram is that you're able to actually connect with your audiences. On top of that, I do like, you know, Q&As on there. So, and then I do IG stories. I do like a sneak peek behind the scenes. Everything I do is on Instagram. And because they have so many features, this also means that Instagram, you're able to get a lot better bundled brand deals, in my opinion, because your brand deals is not just one video on TikTok. Your brand deal can now be like 1 post plus 1 reels plus 3 IG stories. There's so many different ways to bundle up your package. And on top of that, because Instagram has been around for a long time, it also helps you build credibility. Because I find that brands aren't familiar with TikTok just yet, just from personal experience, I do see that Instagram brand deals pay a little bit better than TikTok brand deals. I don't think that'll be the case down the road. I honestly think brands are really hopping onto the TikTok trends, and TikTok has such a large buying power. However, Instagram's been around for so long, and it's just such a stable source of income that a lot of brands do rely on it. For those of you who don't know, when it comes to Instagram stories, you're required to have 10K followers before you have the swipe up function. So the swipe up function is super helpful because, you know, you're able to kind of connect you're able to get better brand deals that way, because obviously brands prefer to have a swipe up link. But on top of that, it's really easy to direct your traffic towards the right direction. So for example, when I post a video on Instagram, I'll also include a swipe up so that way they can go swipe up and just easily access my blog and the full recipe. Currently, Instagram is clearly trying to compete with TikTok when it comes to short video forms. So Instagram Reels is where I highly recommend people to be on. It has a crazy good algorithm, really high reach. Because it is a new feature, I find that they're really pushing it, and I find that the reach is just insane on Instagram Reels. So I highly recommend doing that. The second reason why I recommend IG Reels is that way you can repurpose your content from TikTok. Do not just directly repost the video with your TikTok handle on it, because I don't think that's good. I don't think it's professional, and I heard that Instagram doesn't like it. Make sure that you just save the video and then you post it on both, and then you add on its own caption. But yeah, I highly recommend using Instagram Reels. That way, you know, you can save time. You're posting the same content both on TikTok and Instagram. You don't have to make a brand new video just for each platform. And I do like Instagram a lot because their captions are longer too. So you can really connect with your audience, talk about the story behind the recipes. I don't look too much into hashtags. I just kind of use whatever hashtags I feel like using. But I do know there is hashtag strategies on Instagram as well. I think the thing with Instagram is that it is hard to grow there. So definitely utilize TikTok to push your audiences to Instagram, right? And then use Instagram Reels to also grow your platform on Instagram as well. Even though I have less of a following on Instagram versus TikTok, I personally feel a lot more confident when it comes to my content for brand deals on Instagram versus TikTok, because Instagram is just a lot more stable. The thing with Instagram is that the more followers you have, most likely the more engagement and, you know, better views you're gonna have, similar to YouTube. So I do recommend taking the time to build your Instagram account. Obviously, it's not everything. I know there's tons of food bloggers who don't utilize Instagram. They just use TikTok and Pinterest. But I do think it is a very good platform to be on. I think that it is a really good platform to get feedback from your audience, and it's a really good platform to just build that overall engagement and relationship. I would say that I spend majority of my time working on Instagram more than TikTok. Once TikTok obviously starts adding other features such as stories and stuff like that, I will for sure, you know, be on TikTok more often. However, I just genuinely really love, you know, all the features that they have on Instagram. And I really do think that IG Reels is where it's at when it comes to growing on Instagram. So highly recommend trying that out. Same thing, don't feel discouraged, just keep posting, you know. Instagram does require things to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So I do make sure I always have a cover photo for every Instagram Reels that I do post. So I'm not sure if that actually does help, but I do recommend doing so. My strategy on Instagram is I post Instagram Reels. On top of that, I do a post right after that, because that's where I include the recipes. So a lot of people can just easily go check out my recipes with my link in my bio, because it's just directly tied towards it. I do stories a lot. I kind of show the behind the scenes, more of my personality beyond just cooking. And on top of that, I don't really do lives that often. I just find that I have so much to do that I don't have time to actually sit down and do lives. But down the road, I'm hoping to do more lives as well. And funny enough, even though I have less followers on Instagram versus TikTok, a lot of my traffic sources does come from Instagram. So Instagram story itself actually drives, I believe 40,000 traffic sessions per month just from Instagram stories. So I definitely do highly recommend building that platform. If you're starting out, I recommend doing TikTok and Instagram and use those side by side as you're building your blog. And once your blog is up, pushing the traffic towards your blog. Next is Pinterest. So Pinterest is honestly so underrated, and it is an amazing platform for food bloggers to be on, especially if you do already have a blog. So basically it's just a search engine, but just filled with photos. And the best part about Pinterest is that people who are on Pinterest are genuinely having an interest of finding out more. Like whether it is recipes or how to do things or just any tips and tricks, inspiration, people on Pinterest are interested in actually clicking on the link and going to your website, which is why I highly, highly, highly recommend on being on Pinterest. I am working on a Pinterest strategy. I'm not like super confident with it just yet. So it's done okay results, but Pinterest alone drives me around 10 to 15,000 traffic a month to my website. And it's a complete new traffic aside from TikTok and Instagram. So I don't really let people know, and I don't really talk about my Pinterest platform that much because I wanted to make sure that the traffic is separated. I wanted to make sure it was a brand new source of traffic, not just people who already are connected with me on the two platforms before. That way I can really, you see how powerful the platform is. But I know there's a lot of bloggers out there who honestly don't even use Instagram and TikTok, and they're able to make so much money on their blog just from Pinterest. If you're someone who doesn't want to actually put yourself out there on social media that much, but you have a strong passion and love for food, then maybe I would actually recommend doing blogging and Pinterest. Just those two, and that's more than enough. So the thing with Pinterest is that you just have to be very consistent. I am using Tailwind to schedule everything on Pinterest, to do all my pins. I try to max that out as much as possible. I do also have someone who I actually hired and outsourced to support me on Pinterest as well. They have experience with Pinterest, and they're helping me out, teaching me, and also helping me schedule all the posts and doing all of the graphics. So I will keep you guys updated on that investment there and how that actually did turn out. So the next thing is newsletters. So I do collect emails on my blog, and I do send out monthly newsletters with recipes and, like dedicated tips and tricks. But I do think newsletter is a really good way to connect with your audience. And I think it's really important to have an email list. It is super, super powerful. I don't know about you, but personally, when I wake up, the first thing I do is check my email. So if you don't, sometimes I don't have time for Instagram, I don't have time for TikTok, but I will make sure I always check my email. And the thing with email is that it's so powerful. It's directly mailed towards their email address. So I do highly recommend, if you have a blog, to start collecting an email list. I don't have a crazy strategy when it comes to my newsletter. I am down the road going to be making more free printables that I can collect more email lists. I think it's always good to have a newsletter list just because, you never know when it comes to other platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like what happens one day if the platform does crash, right? So at least then you'll still have their email, you're still able to connect with your audience. Last thing I'm on is YouTube, and I'm going to be very honest, it's probably the platform that I don't pay the most attention to. I mostly just upload my recipes up so that way people have a video that they can pause when they're on my blog. And however, the thing with YouTube is that it's a lot of work. So once I am able to have a more stable source of once I am more stable on all my other platforms, especially my blog, is when I'm going to dedicate more time back to YouTube, because YouTube is super time consuming. But like I said, it is evergreen content. So what I mean by that is that when you post a video up, it has a chance to make money, even 3 years down the road. It has a chance to go viral 4 years down the road, and you're always going to be able to monetize on it, versus something like Instagram and TikTok, where honestly it's more time sensitive. I think you only have a few days for your videos to go viral, and you don't even have any source of income if your video goes viral. Whereas on YouTube, your views, you get ad money, so it goes hand in hand. You do require, I believe, to get 4,000 hours plus 1,000 subscribers. So I do recommend, slowly working on building that platform. The thing with YouTube that I find is a little bit harder is that because it's such a stable and as a platform that's been around for so long, a lot of the creators on here are super experienced. They have the camera equipment, they have the mic gear, they have everything. So I find that it can be very expensive to start on YouTube when you don't have all of the gears already. However, if you're someone who doesn't like writing and you're more like, you like editing videos, and that's kind of how you let out your creative outlet, then I recommend doing YouTube then instead of blogging. And then the thing when I say start a YouTube channel, I don't mean just like reposting a longer version on YouTube versus on TikTok or Instagram. I find that's helpful, but like Honestly, if someone's on TikTok, why would they click out of the app just to watch a longer video, right? You want to make sure that if you're going to start a YouTube channel, that you have a reasoning and purpose behind it. You have to make sure that you come from the audience's point of view. Why would someone exit this app to go onto your platform? There has to be a reason. Like, are you going to be posting more different style videos there? Are you more consistent there? Like, what is the initiative for someone to click out of the app to go watch your YouTube? So once you figure out what that reason is going to be and how you're going to make content behind it and how long it's going to take, then I would say add on YouTube as another platform. I more so use YouTube right now to do educational videos like this that are a lot longer, that I really enjoy doing, that are a little bit different than my food videos. But I think down the road, I'll probably include more like behind the scene vlogs or even longer recipes on YouTube as well down the road when I'm ready. It kind of ties into the main thing I want to talk about, is just to make sure that you guys don't take on too many platforms at once in the beginning. It is a lot of work, and you want to make sure every platform that you're on, you're able to dedicate time towards it. You're able to actually answer comments, answer DMs, connect with your audience, actually build content for that platform. You want to make sure that you're able to build high quality content that you are proud of. So make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself with way too many platforms. I recommend starting out with 2 to 3 platforms max. And even if you're going to do 2 to 3, make sure that they're content that are reusable on each platform. So you're not, making brand new content for 3 platforms all at once. It's going to be way too much work. I also recommend, as always, to start a blog. Blog is super stable source of income. I walk you guys through how I make money on my blog, and my blog posts already and step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. So I highly recommend doing that. In terms of how I manage my time, I'm a very big time block person. So what I mean by that is I will dedicate, a whole day to filming, a whole day to editing, maybe a whole day to behind the scenes, testing recipe. I'm a time blocking person, and I like to plan my content a whole month in advance. So when you guys see a series come out, I plan that series already a month ahead of time, and I already organize, what I want to film. Obviously, as the month goes on, there might be different things I want to change towards it, but at least I give myself a general idea of, how often I have to post, what are the recipes within that series that I have to film, and when will I need to film it. Obviously, you don't have to be like me and be super organized and crazy to-do list, because I know not everyone's brain functions like that. But I do think that if you give yourself a calendar at least a whole week in advance, then you won't be as stressed out. That way, if something does come out in your personal life where you can't film content, you have content batched already to reuse it, right? You don't have to go missing for a long period of time. Another thing I want to talk about is, when it comes to consistency, you don't have to post every single day if you're not going to be able to produce high quality content. I used to post every single day, 7 days a week for 3 months straight. And honestly, I was getting really burned out, and I was really nervous to cut down my content because I kind of felt like that was the reason why people follow me. But then I realized that people don't follow me because I post a lot. People follow me because they like my recipes. So I went from 7 recipes to 5 recipes, and now I cut down to 3. And honestly, now I'm very comfortable with posting out 3 recipes a week. And within the 3 recipes, sometimes when I have more time, I can add in more lifestyle videos, like what I eat in a day, and, different vlog style videos, or even I can add in different brand deals in between the 3 videos that I promise everyone that won't be brand deals that I send out every single week. So that's kind of how I decide, my posting schedule. So I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I always give myself every Sunday off. Make sure you do schedule in a rest day to give yourself a mental break. Trust me, you're gonna need it. Have a day where you can turn off your phone, spend time with your loved ones, and that way you can feel refreshed and kind of go all out. Another tip that I have when it comes to social media strategy and managing your time is that if you do want to do this full time, make sure you do treat it like a job. So what I mean by that is dedicate hours to it, have working hours. So maybe because I came from a 9 to 5, I'm very dedicated, like from X time to X time is my working hours. I don't sit on the sofa and watch TV. I'll make sure during this time I'm working. If I don't want to film, then I'll work some admin work. If I don't want to do admin work, maybe I'll get inspiration on YouTube videos. If I don't want to do that, maybe I'll go grocery shopping. But whatever it is, for a certain time throughout the day, that is my working time. And then I dedicate myself proper vacation days and proper sick days and proper rest days. So if you treat it like a job, I find that you don't burn out as fast. Obviously, it's super important to always take your mental health into consideration, which is why to not pick up too much as once. However, do make sure you give yourself that schedule. So 1, you don't overwork yourself and work 20 hours a day, but also 2, you don't get as anxious when, you know, timelines are coming up or deadlines are coming up. And then you have a stable posting schedule that not only where you're comfortable and you know what's going to go on and you're organized, but also your audience knows when these content is going to go up and they can actually rely on you with content. So hopefully that was helpful. I love doing videos like this, so let me know if you guys have any other videos that you guys want me to kind of go into, or you know, want me to talk about more of my behind the scenes and more tips and tricks. If you guys have any questions, like I said, I answer 90% of my DMs. I try to answer as much as I can on Instagram, so if you have any questions, ask me there, and then I will link everything down below, including in my free template that you can download for your content calendar, how to start a blog, step-by-step tutorials, my journey transitioning from a 9-to-5 to a full-time food blogger, and also another blog post actually on how I make money as a food blogger and how I kind of decide my content strategy. And then finally, I also have a whole page dedicated to all my favorite courses, products, what I film with, editing apps, you know, where I host everything will be there. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.